I'm a cat person. Why are my doors open? Yeah, I'm a cat person. I love cats. I admit it. And I'm not afraid to admit that I love me some cats. I grew up with cats. They've always been in my house. If I see a cat walking down the street, you know I'm gonna... But my point is, when I found out there was a cat island in Japan, in the country I call home, you know I had to visit this island. But alas, it's been 7 long years, and I have yet to visit Cat Island. And I may have waited a bit too long, because if the reports that are coming out turn out to be true, we might just be losing Cat Island forever. What is Cat Island? The real name of the island is Aoshima, but it's commonly known as Cat Island for, yeah, that's right, you guessed it, the cats. There are a lot of cats living on the island, and that's where it got its name. The more you enter, the more you know meme right here. Stupid. The island is a massive pain to get to. It's about a 30-minute ferry ride away from Ehime Prefecture. For those who don't know, Ehime Prefecture is in Shikoku, which is there on the map. So to get to here from Tokyo, you have to do all of this. You see that? That's a really far way to travel to get all the way to Ehime. Then once you get to Ehime, you gotta go a further 30 minutes by boat to get to the island. And I know it is pretty far, but I hear you now. Jordan, don't worry. I'll make the day trip. I'll see the cats. Do a little, yush, you know? Give the cats the loving they deserve. Donate some money to the island to keep these cats alive and healthy and well fed. And then stay in a hotel maybe, you know? Hang about for a day. Get the next ferry out. No, you can't do that. The island is very much not set up for visitors. I mean, it's set up for visitors, but you can't stay the night. There's not really convenience stores on the island. There's not much infrastructure. I don't think there are any accommodations people can really stay at. There's no like hotels. It's kind of like you go to the island, you hang about, you explore, you see the cats, you yoshi, and then you get the fuck out of there. You go back to bigger Ehime and or different place in Tokyo and or Japan, because you ain't staying the night here. Fuck off. Fuck off. Now I'm being extreme, but very much so. The island isn't really set up for people to stay the night. It doesn't really have that much infrastructure, which makes it really hard for tourists to visit, which is why it's so surprising that so many tourists did visit for such a long period of time. I can hear it. I can hear the gears turning. It's an island, 30 minutes off Ehime. Where did the cats come from? Well, with all things, it was our fault. It was humans that brought the cats to the island. And not just any humans, fishermen. Aoshima didn't used to be famous for cats. They were famous for two very different things. Number one, sardines. The surrounding waters had delicious fresh sardines ripe for the catching. And where there are fresh delicious sardines, there are... No, not cats, fishermen. There are fishermen. So fishermen came to catch a fish, brought their families, built a town. You get yourself a remote fishing island. We're getting there, guys. The cats are coming. You hang on to my every word. The cats are coming, I promise you. So you have this human settlement with fish, with humans, with grain, with food. Where there's grain and food and fish and sediments and humans, you have rats. You have rats in our stuff, eating our grain, bothering our women. And when there's rats, finally, we've got there, boys. The fishermen decided, hey, we gotta get this rat population under control on the islands, so we're gonna bring in some cats. They brought in the cats to curb the rat population on the island when Aoshima was a popular sardine spot for fishermen. But now, it's not really a remote fishing destination, it's kind of just Cat Island. The fishermen didn't go to like random pet centers and adopt the cats there. They actually found random stray cats at ports while they were off on their fishing adventures and brought them back to the island to control the rat population. So they were adopting strays, you know, they were doing their part, and you know, cats are adorable. Why would you not want to travel for a certain amount of time on a boat with a cat? That's fun. That's great. I'm sure there are like children's stories about this. Eventually the good sardine fishing, yeah, it got really bad. Water started to dry up, there were no more fish to be caught, and so people started leaving. And after World War II, the population of the island dropped to about 900, and then 2017, there was only 13 people living on the island. But the cat population was not dropping, and there were hundreds of cats on the island, and only 13 people technically to look after them. Now that's a damn problem. Even if I had 13 of the healthiest, most cat-loving people to go to an island, hundreds of cats is a bit too much to look after. And worse is worse, this wasn't 13 young, spry fishermen, this is 13 aging individuals who spent their lives living on this island, and they felt hundreds of cats is a bit too much for them to look after. Enter the Aoshima Cat Protection Society. These boys had one job and one job only: protect them cats. Their recommendation for these cats? Get them sprayed and neutered. Population control came first. Spray and neuter as many of the cats as you possibly can to try to curb the population. Operation Spray and Neuter Every Cat began a year later in 2018. And well, now in 2024, we have the current situation. As a man who loves cats, and I assume if you're watching this video, you also love cats, or at least are interested in the very strange situation Japan has brought themselves into where they have a cat island. Either way, I'm glad you're here. Continue watching, please like and subscribe. A tweet from what I assume is the official Aoshima Island account stated that we may not have much time as we think. The tweet was pretty straightforward, and it was titled, "The Future of Cat Island." The future of Cat Island is bleak. And from what I read and what I assume is the official Twitter account, it states, the number of cats is gradually decreasing. The cats are aging. The age of the cats on the island is now over 7 years old, and no kittens have been born since the sterilization of all the cats that took place in October 2018. We believe that in a few more years, the cats will cross the Rainbow Bridge. Currently, there are 5 island residents. When tourists stop coming to the island, there is talk of reducing or discontinuing regular boat services. When the neko mama, or the cat mother, grows old and leaves the island, it'll be the last time for Cat Island. It is a sad story, but if we can keep the cats on the island happy until the last cat, I think that is the last thing we can do for Cat Island. Bloody hell, that's sad. To clarify a few points, Neko Mama refers to the 73-year-old woman who lives on Cat Island, feeding and tending to the cats. She also cleans the streets, sort of cleans the island, makes it a very nice place for tourists to visit. She's a very important part of the island. If anything, she's an integral member of the 5 people living there. While there are food donations, and while the cats do eat rodents and small critters that live on the island, without Neko Mama there looking after the island, cleaning up after the cats, cleaning the island itself, and making sure the cats do get fed and receive water regularly, it's not looking good for the cats. And there's no one really to replace her. As sad as it is to see the island go, I kind of agree with the Cat Association. They were saying that 130 cats is way too many cats for 13 people to look after, and that's back in 2017. Back in 2017, the average age of an island resident was 75 years old. It is 7 years later, and yeah, the number of cats has gone down, but the number of humans living on the island has also gone down. It's only 5 humans. Even if there's 50 cats, that's 10 cats per human. And that's if they're even willing to look after the cats. I know we have Neko Mama, she's looking after the cats, but are the others? Do they even want to? How old are they, you know? It really is a hard situation for the island and those living on it, but also those who want to visit the future of the island, the Cat Association, it's just bad news all around. With that being said, if you want to visit the island, how long do you have? Yeah, I won't sugarcoat this, you got 2 years. Aoshima estimates there are only 2 years left for Cat Island, and this isn't just because of the aging residents, it's also because of the aging cats. As I said before, most of the cats are over 7 years old, and while these cats are really well looked after, 7 years old is pretty old for a cat. You're looking at about 2 years, and I think that's them being pretty conservative with their estimates. If you are visiting Japan and you do have plans to visit Cat Island, or you want to check out Cat Island, I think this is probably the only time you're going to have. Go there, donate to the island, give some food to the cats, hang out with the residents, be nice, be kind, be friendly. These are people doing this mostly out of the kindness of their own heart, so be cool. But I'm sure you guys will. My subscribers, my followers, you guys are all pretty cool. But guys, listen, a little bit of a sad one. I apologize, but I saw this story come up and I was like, I've got to share it with everyone because I know people who want to visit Japan aren't going to see this story and perhaps are going to miss their one chance to visit Cat Island, and that doesn't sit right with me, But guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. I just realized I picked I picked the fucking card with the dude with the afro. Jesus. This gotta be racist.